pack is packed, cause I'm mass destruction. Guess who's here? The bad boys of wrestling. Testing competition, win the war, that's their mission. Not no mercy, see the rings like the street. If you don't know, you better find out the war pack. Here to prove a point, number one, just believe that you don't wanna tussle with them. I'll be here for them, come in the ring with them, you're never walking out again. Don't turn your back on the war pack. Don't turn your back on the...
All right, what is going on, guys? It is Thursday night. We've been off for a week. You know where we're at. We're going to do this early. You are at the filler segment. Welcome back. I had an all right week off. I'm Dan. This is my co-host, Will. What's going on, man? Remember,
what's up?
Like, share, and subscribe. We're going to do this now. Get it out of the way because every show. Tell everybody. Because remember, we're a show by the wrestling fan for the fan. And last week we had a pretty good topic. We got more surprises coming for you, but right now we're doing wrestlers and wrestling movies. I figured they could pretty much go hand in hand because we can have a whole conversation on all of that. So what's going on? I mean, how you feeling? How you feeling about this category? I know you had to do some digging, and the way we've been talking offline.
Yeah, I don't know. This one, you got a lot of few and far betweens because there hasn't really been any like major aside from. Well, I'm not gonna mention because they'll probably, these guys will probably be like on the list of people who we talk about.
Yeah,
there hasn't really been many like, mainstream sports guys, or not even sports guys, mainstream wrestling guys in like mainstream movies. It's been very, very few and far between. Besides the obvious that I'm pretty sure we're gonna get to.
I mean, we all know about Dwayne.
Yeah.
That was like Dwayne, and you can say Cena
and Dave. Can't forget about Dave.
And Dave. Those ones. Those are definitely givens.
Yeah.
But we kind of dug for these ones, but then there's one who really, to me, was the guy who started it all. But I'm going to save him till the end. I think if you don't know who it is already, in my eyes, then I don't know if you really think of it. I don't know. I know who I'm picking, and I'm going to throw him on there last as the best. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
On my list.
I'll try to hold off so I don't.
Because I like to work backwards because usually the best one gives us our bread and butter on this. But so I mean, without going into the obvious, I mean, do we have any sleepers on this list? I know I have. I might have one or two.
Not so much a role like on screen. Well, yeah, on screen. I don't know if there were any lines because I'm not really into these type of movies, but Peter Maivia,
the High Chief.
Yes, Peter Maivia he had a small role. Excuse me.
No
problem.
Like
I said, I don't know if it was if he had any lines, but he was also stunt coordinator for one of the James Bond movies. I'm not sure which one because I'm not that old, but yeah, he was a stunt coordinator for one of the James Bond movies and had a small role before he passed away. I want to say it was like in the late 70s because he died in 1982. So I want to say it was somewhere maybe mid to late 70s.
Yeah, maybe even early 60s. Would you say just as a one-off? It could be.
It wasn't a Sean Connery.
It wasn't
James,
a Sean Connery one?
It wasn't a Sean. It may have been a Roger Moore or whoever guy was after Roger Moore.
Yeah, because the only other guy after Roger Moore was, I think it was Brosnan right after him. I don't know. I have to go back because Connery was the best one. But
I'm not into James Bond movies like that, though.
No, there's only one that I like. But that's a whole nother genre for a whole nother day. We're talking Peter Maivia.
Yeah, so he was stunt coordinator and may have had a small cameo in the movie that he coordinated stunts for.
That's true. Peter Maivia, man. Thank you, Peter. Shout out to Young Rock right there, in case you didn't know. But all right, so I'm gonna go with my least, and it might come as a surprise, it might not, but my least would be Kevin Nash.
Which one though?
Kevin Nash.
Which movie though?
As Super Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 2. Kevin Nash
he was. Yes, he
was Super Shredder.
Yes. I thought you were gonna speak more towards his roles in John Wick and Punisher.
No, not the recent stuff. Not that. I'm talking.
I forgot he was Super Shredder.
He was Super Shredder.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about that. That was like during his Oz days.
Yes, it was during his Oz days because I've seen a meme or at least a picture running around the internet of him with his helmet off and everything, and it's him, and he has like this short little Oz mullet.
So then it was Master Blaster. Then it had to have been Master Blaster going into the Oz gimmick. Yeah, I forgot about that. Wow.
He was Super Shredder.
Yeah.
I remember finding out about that in 97, and I'm like, shut up, nah. And then I had to go back and watch it. I'm like, you know what? It makes sense. And then obviously. As the internet's got more open to me, you figure out. It's like, oh yes, it in fact was Kevin Nash.
Nash, I forgot about him being Super Shredder.
But it's like I said, I'm taking all the recent stuff out, even your Longest Yard, keeping them out of that. No, he was still in the movie, but I'm saying Super Shredder.
Was like everybody else.
No, I understand that, and some of them might be on the list. Who knows? But
for other stuff, stuff, because that roster, honestly,
because if we're talking
roster in ring right now,
for Waterboy,
no, for all of the guys that were in the Longest Yard,
in the Longest Yard,
if that was our main right now, I'd be perfectly fine with that, even with Khali, because he's a Hall of Famer. I don't care how much Marky don't like it. He is a Hall of Famer. I'll take Khali back right now. Goldberg and Austin, and give me them guys. But
Kevin Nash,
them too. Well,
this is even when before Khali was on the roster.
Well, yeah,
which makes
absolutely.
it even better,
right?
So, because even watching that, I'm like, who's this guy? And then here he is, shows up on WWE, and I'm like, it's a dude from the Waterboy, and it's like the Great Khali, and I'm like, okay, so that's who he is. So. Yeah, I'd take that roster any day too.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they were way more entertaining.
Yep, sign me up.
So so the Waterboy is definitely up there as in the movies category. And you know what? I'd be remiss just to kind of get it off the list if we're gonna throw movies as well in there. Is Ready to Rumble, because you know what? At the time, it gave. To me, you laugh at it because it was a cheesy shit flick. I'm not even going to front.
It's not even that. It's what happened. It's what became of what what happened stemming from the movie.
Well, yes, we all know what happened stemming from it.
As a result of that movie, what happened, Dan?
Yeah, exactly. So
what happened, Dan?
No, I think we all know.
Dan.
Yeah,
they
folded, but still, without that movie, without investing in that movie, does that happen?
Dan. No, say it, Dan. Say it. David Arquette became.
Yeah, he became WCW champion
as a result of that damn horrid movie.
Yeah, he made number one on our list. So much so number one on one of our lists, as in worst champions, that we couldn't even mention it. So yes, that's what the world brought us, wrestling history.
All
so
Jarrett had to do was pin DDP.
For real,
all he had to do was pin DDP. It's all you had. One job, Jeff. One.
But we brought up Ready to Rumble because just because they were all in it. Wrestlers were in it.
I've never even seen it.
You've never seen it?
Nope.
It's a shit plot, but I just watched it for
I'm gonna continue to skip right by it.
Okay, that's fine. But that's fine. I respect that. That's like Mark not wanting to watch Young Rock. So I got you. I respect it. But you're missing out. That's all I'm saying.
I'm missing out. Sure, yeah, David, I can.
It's a terrible plot line, but you see the wrestlers in it. That's it. Who cares if it's cheesy? You know what? It's like wrestlers doing their thing.
They're playing themselves. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's all you can ask for. That's it. I know we got a comment.
You could ask for it to be good.
We're not going to talk about his recent body of work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
He's wrestling independently. And that's all we need to know, because that's how much we don't care, because we haven't.
You know what? Let me
He's
go
gonna
check
Google
and
it.
see who Facebook user is asking those ridiculous questions.
Yes.
Recent body of work. Recent body of work. Keontae, go to bed.
It is
Don't care
Keontae.
about-
I knew it.
Don't care about
I knew it.
Kev's recent body of work. Do you still? What about your body of work, sir? You still work here? Asking questions. Where we just popping up? Oh, deadbeat group member. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, man. Once again, guys, we are talking wrestlers and wrestling movies and getting crapped on about David Arquette. So,
I love you though, Keontae. Don't take it personally, man. You my guy. Only thing wrong with you is you a Jets fan. But anyway, moving on.
Okay. So since we're gonna get past Ready to Rumble and all of that, I'm gonna start getting into, these are obviously in no particular order. I'm just leaving my best one for last.
Well, look, I'm just bouncing off you because I actually don't have a list. Go ahead.
Well, that's fine. Well, then how about the Macho Man?
You mean Bonesaw?
Bonesaw gets you for 3 minutes. Yeah.
Yo, I laughed so hard when I watched that on the bio the other night.
Yeah, me too. Every single time. Only because when I saw it in the theater, I'm like, shut up.
Dude, I marked.
I'm like, no.
I fucking marked. People were in the theater looking at me like, why is this guy? Because that's Macho Man. Shut up.
Oh, it was great.
If you met me back in 1988, damn it, you know.
You
understand.
Of course.
But that is Macho Man, and you don't judge me.
Exactly. I mean, not only that, but I mean, if we're gonna even talk about outside of Bonesaw, he's done some voiceover work, because it was funny. I was watching SpongeBob with my son, and the Macho Man, his voice, it was him. It even gives him credit, Macho Man Randy Savage. He's like this huge ass, like starfish, like dude,
Right.
and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the toughest guy in Bikini Bottom." Yeah.
Don't forget about this episode of Thunder in Paradise either.
Baywatch.
Was it Baywatch?
Baywatch.
Oh, okay, whatever. Same shit.
I just remember. I remember because I saw Yasmin Bleeth, and that's all I needed to see, because she was it at the time. I'm like, yep. And then the Macho Man was in it, and then him and Terry got into it, and I'd have kicked him off his jet ski. Come on, Macho, you're better than that. But Macho Man, you can't leave him off this list, because
no, you cannot.
Bonesaw.
Bonesaw, dude. I'm telling you, man. When I marked
Iconic.
at Spider-Man, I marked, dude. I was safe to say I was pretty much grown at that point.
Yeah, it was unexpected. It was unexpected.
Yeah, it really was. There was
now it's
in the
like
previews, nothing.
No.
Like if you knew, like it is what if you know, you really know, because Macho Man was like, oh.
And you couldn't not, because, I mean, if we're going to talk about film and whatnot and television, Slim Jim put him out there too.
Yeah.
More than anything.
And it had been years since anybody had really seen him publicly too.
Right.
Because that first Spider-Man was like 02 or something like that. 02,
it was after WCW folded.
Had folded, yeah. Maybe after
and then that was really
TNA
it.
Appearance, because he popped up in TNA for a night in 01 or 02 or something.
And he dipped, and then that was it. But yeah, it had to have been. You're right.
Yeah, because it had been years since anybody had seen him. So
it was almost like
it was almost like him showing up on Raw.
Oh my word!
It would have been the same.
And we've all said this. If he was alive to make that speech at the Hall of Fame,
oh man,
I don't give it. I forgot who was headlining that year. It was someone who was bullshitting.
It was him.
What? Yeah, it was him. That's right.
Was the headliner. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was the one who headlined, but yeah, Kevin Nash gave the closing one.
Yeah.
Because it was his, so he technically headlined. But if he was alive to headline that one, you want to talk about one of the greatest pops of all time? Bonesaw would have came right out and in a Santa Claus beard and everything, and he would have laid it on everybody.
Yeah, man.
Because man, he was looking like old Santa Claus more than Mick Foley.
That is so true.
But yep, R.I.P. Mach, and thank you for everything, man. Seriously, he gave us everything. Yes. But you know what? We're gonna take a break from this for a little bit, because guess what time it is? We're at the 15-minute mark. We got Our filler segment, Lit of the Week, sponsored by the Infinite Banter. Ooh, look at that. All right, man, give it to me.
And this is bad because everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge sports guy, but I've never heard of this dude before. So the pitcher, RHP, I guess he was a righty, from Baltimore. Shout out to you for tossing the no-no against my Mariners yesterday. I didn't really see highlights. I just saw the notification. And also, thank you for giving me an excuse to wear my Baltimore hat. I forgot I had this one. I really did, dude. It's so many up there. It don't make no sense. This is the 11th show, and I haven't seen there's been no repeats. So
hey, we're 10% to we're 10% to syndication. So
yeah, seriously. Well, I'm before we get to 100, you'll see some of them again. Maybe
who cares? We'll run all. Listen, but
it ain't 100 teams in the major. I gotta go minor league or something.
If you go minor leaguers, I think that would be even more fun because then I have to do some research. Which brings me to my old school player of the week.
And I believe Eric Ibar might have been on the Orioles too. We got to fact check with Mark. I know that's his due.
Yeah, Mark, you're a stat boy on that one. But he was. I don't know. I heard he was a Viking Raider. But anyways, our old school player of the week. I had to do some digging for this one. I could have used the two that Will gave me. He gave me Eddie Murray.
That's right.
He gave me Eddie Murray, which was really the one I was going to lean towards. I was thinking maybe Harold Baines because he played for the Orioles at one point. However, you know what? I'm going to go with one of my all-time favorite old school O's player, and it's not because he was great on the field. I am going to go with the other Ripken, Billy Ripken Jr. or Billy Ripken because
the
lesser known. But he was the most controversial because of his baseball that said fuckface on the back. That card is worth so much money right now. Not so much, but a lot. Because they printed it and then they have it blacked out and whited out. So shout out to Billy Ripken.
Billy Ripken, the Owen Hart of the Baltimore organization.
I couldn't have said it any better because Stu Hart was coaching. Their Bret Hart was doing it, and then there was Bill.
There was old Billy.
Then there was Bill.
Hey, look at me. I got 2 slammies.
He didn't even get that. He might have he got like a couple all-star appearance, but that's
that counts. It. That counts. That's
the equivalent. Right there it is. The equivalent. So Billy Ripken, you are our old school player of the week. All right, so we're gonna get back into it. Did some research there, so that was awesome. You might have to even bust out. So you can go into other sports now. You shouldn't have to be committed to baseball. I
don't have any other hats except for baseball. I got to get through the majors first before I start going.
All right, I got you. So, anyways, we're back to wrestlers and wrestling movies. So we brought up the Macho Man. We brought up Kevin Nash, which was a big eye opener, and we brought up the High Chief Peter Maivia. So, let's get into some more fun names. How about Jesse the Body?
Ooh.
Jesse the Body, he has a huge amount of work in movies. Mm-hmm. Like I remember seeing again another mark out moment for me because this was before the internet, was seeing him in Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the criminals that they met in the sewer. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was like, that was another movie theater mark-out moment as like a teenager. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm comparing times today in society to Demolition Man. Sooner or later, we're not gonna be able to touch no damn body.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
As long as I don't got a shit in a seashell, though, I'm good.
And be well.
Right.
I'll be living in the sewer in no time.
Right, because I'm going broke just off of cussing alone. That's it. Yeah, I ain't got it.
You ain't kidding. But Jesse the Body, man, he has a, he has a great, as you say, body not only in the ring, but I don't know. I had to think of something there.
Yeah, I mean, aside from his obvious stuff, everybody loved him in Predator. He was really good, and
Predator he was great.
he kind of rode that success and didn't let us forget it while he was on commentary. You know, especially when like that one episode of Saturday Night's Main Event where they were in LA and he told Vince that he had top billing and he talked about tell him to. This is Saturday Night's Main Event. I'm Jesse the Body. And this is what's his name.
Oh, and this is what's his name.
Love Jesse, man.
I don't know, McMahon.
Love Jesse, man.
Jesse was great. Oh man,
Jesse was awesome. Man.
Him and Gorilla weren't bad together.
No, they weren't. I really
mean,
would put them. They're my number 3.
That's definitely a show we're gonna have to go into now. I think now that we're thinking about it, see, we're thinking up on the fly, guys, on the fly.
Yeah.
So commentary's coming straight up, but yes, him. But
So
anyways, getting back to Jesse, but him and Gorilla, man, they were great.
Yeah,
I mean, the perfect heel face combo or heel straight guy combo.
Yeah.
And then when he was gone, I mean, him and Heenan, obviously, they were buddies off screen, so it worked.
Right.
But yeah, you'd have to put, to me, I would have to put them 2.5.
Yeah,
2.5. I mean, because obviously
we'll get into that
another show for another day. But Jesse the Body, he's
gonna be a good one too.
That is true.
That's gonna be good.
But Jesse the Body, man, he's done it in Hollywood. I mean, you can't deny that.
He was really one of the first to do the mainstream thing, like on a big scale with like a name like Arnold and like with Carl Weathers and people like that, the cast that was in that movie, to add a former pro wrestler. That just says a lot, because you could have went any way. Like, you didn't have to go with Jesse. You could have put dude's ass in that movie, and it would have, it probably would have made more money. But I'm glad it was Jesse. Yeah,
man, you ain't kidding.
Yeah,
it worked, and we're just gonna. You know what? I'm gonna go up the list one more time. We're up to one of my surprise picks, and you know what? We're probably gonna end up talking about this going into the break.
It's not Ahmed Johnson again, is it?
Damn it, you got me. It would be the total opposite of Ahmed Johnson. It is Terry Funk.
Oh.
Terry Funk. Now, I remember when we talked about this off air, when we were bouncing back and forth, you were like, Terry Funk, and I'm like, Over the Top. The Stallone movie.
Yeah, the arm wrestling movie.
Yes, the arm wrestling Rocky movie. Terry Funk was the grandfather's bodyguard. And I just remember, he was like, Mr. Cutler is not finished speaking to you. And then Stallone swung on him, and he takes a bump through a window. But he was in that, but more iconically, Roadhouse.
Another one I have not seen.
Another one you haven't seen? That one, I think, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm just going to tell you, it's a pretty kick-ass movie. It's an older movie, but it's him and Patrick Swayze. And you wouldn't think so because of Swayze, but seriously, it is a good movie. It's a good fighting movie. You wouldn't think so, but, and then he goes to do Dirty Dancing, and that was it. But, he never went into the ring, so screw him. But Terry Funk, I mean, that, and obviously, if we're going to transition it into his career, the conversation is what more can you say about him? And other than, you know what, I don't think there's a part on his body that has been broken, sewn together, glued, duct tape.
Right.
Between him and Mick.
Yeah, seriously. Between them two, they've probably broken everything twice.
Maybe even 3 times. I mean, because 3 or more times, because you'd have to keep going back and doing that dumb shit.
Yep.
I mean, what more can you say?
Love it. Where the reject gets his inspiration. So.
Oh my word, we're already getting into him already, man. Not the damn rejects.
No, don't worry. That's it. I got nothing else.
Nothing else to reject. But also, he was in as I said, Over the Top. He was in another Stallone movie. I found out too when I was researching. It's called Paradise Alley. Made in 1978. I was like, what? I was
I
like,
wasn't
okay.
even.
It was a year away from my debut. So,
Yeah, well, my parents were still in high school in 1978.
yeah, it was a year before my debut. So, that's all I'm going to say, man. I have no idea about it. So, I definitely have to go and check that out just because now I know that Terry Funk is in it.
Right.
But I think we might have time for one more. We might have one. How about, and I know and we might have to continue this. Andre.
Ah, yeah.
We'd be
Yeah.
remiss if we didn't talk about Andre. And obviously, we all know about the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And just to know what we know now that, he wasn't even physically fit to do that one. And he showed up and he did it anyway. And iconic performance, too. Everybody, you say the Princess Bride, what's the first thing that jumps out at you? Andre the Giant.
For me, it's going to be Andre the Giant. I mean, for a lot of people, it could be a number of things, but he's what I remember about the movie. Like it was made right around the time I had just started really getting into wrestling, pre WrestleMania 3, and like honestly, that role was what drew me to Andre. Like I know he's a wrestler, but it's more to it than this. And to see him in that role, like just coming off of his face run that he had been on for 15 years, to just to see it flip, I think that might have been when I realized I was a heel too. just to see him, turn and just be
The gentle giant.
yeah or no, just from the movie role being the gentle giant
Yeah.
to his other role
As like the
being
big
angry giant.
angry giant, yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked. Listen, and he flipped it. You're right, he did, because it's like, all right, so he's on the movie, and he's like the nice giant, doesn't look like he'd really hurt much of a flea, but obviously they placated his drinking in that too, which was even better.
Yeah.
It was like he's probably like, you're right, that in script.
Yeah, but
Not get him back.
And yeah, to your point, he wasn't really in the physical condition either.
He really wasn't.
He wasn't, but the fact that he showed up and did it anyway, and then he did well in the role, being in the condition he was in. Because I know I'm not anywhere close to 7'4", but I'm tall enough to know what uncomfortable is like being tall.
But that's like, yeah, but that was like a couple of you with Andre.
Yeah,
and he wasn't just big.
Width wise.
That's what I mean. I mean, he wasn't just big. He was just
no. I mean, to an extent, I know. Like I'm 6'6", 6'5", 6'6" ish. So I get it. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If anybody would know, it's you. I'm 5'8". I'm 5'8". Are you scared? I mean, come on. But yeah, I mean, that was, as I was saying, for him to just flip it like that, and at that time in his career, I mean, even after the movie, he went on.
Yeah,
he went on up until what, 5, 6? Yeah, WrestleMania 6.
5 was his last in ring. No, it was 6. Yeah, 6 was his last in ring.
Last in ring was 6.
7 was his last appearance at the show.
Because, the Princess Bride was made in like 87,
85
to 86.
85, 86, yeah.
Yeah, 85, 86. And then obviously WrestleMania 6 was what, 89, 90?
WrestleMania 6 was 1990.
1990. Mm-hmm. So 6 more years he went on.
Yeah.
After being in that much pain and that much, that's longevity, and that's just dedication, because damn well he knew what was going on, and he openly admitted that. But did he care? Nope. Show must go on, boss.
Yep.
So rest in peace, Andre. That's mad respect right there, man. So another one. But all right, we've come to that point in the show. We're gonna hit a commercial break. But it's not a commercial break. We have to hit the event center. Lord Alfred Hayes, what's going on?
Hello, everyone. Here's this week's special report. WrestleMania 9 at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas is just 2 breathless weeks away. The double main event has the eyes of the world riveted upon it, especially eagerly awaited title clash between the World Wrestling Federation champion Bret the Hitman Hart and his vicious opponent, the mammoth sumo star Yokozuna. Mr. Fuji has directed his merciless 505-pound challenger to send a message of unmitigated brutality to the Hitman. This was never more apparent than last week on World Wrestling Federation Superstars when Yokozuna cold-heartedly annihilated his opponent, knowing that the champion was watching. Brace yourself for these harrowing scenes. Now, that was truly an awesome display of mass, power, and brutality. Surely even the Hitman must have some misgivings about facing Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9. Remember, this explosive confrontation will take place Sunday, April the 4th at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. To be a part of WrestleMania excitement, pick up the phone and call your local cable company right now. Ask for the exclusive live broadcast of WrestleMania 9 on pay-per-view. All the WWF titles are at stake, plus many, many other dynamite matches, and celebrities are scheduled for WrestleMania 9, April the 4th. For the World Wrestling Federation, this has been Special Report.
Yay, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yo, Lord Alfred was my man.
Mine too.
But could you have picked a better one though? WrestleMania 9? Come on, man. That was like hands down the worst.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you right now, Lord Alfred, that's not the last Lord Alfred Hayes appearance we're gonna get of the season, bro.
Well, good. As long as we got the WrestleMania 9 rundown out of the way. I don't want to talk about WrestleMania.
Listen, no, I promise you right here on the filler segment. This is my promise to you. Sean Mooney and Lord Alfred Hayes will have frequent appearances on the filler segment. You've heard it here first.
You gotta.
And I'm digging to see what I can do.
You gotta throw Todd Pettengill in there too.
Oh, you know I'm throwing the GOAT in there. You know I'm throwing the GOAT in there.
My man, Todd Pettengill.
Man, I don't care what anybody says, bro. Todd Pettengill is the GOAT. To me, that's it. Why?
Yeah.
No, not really. But but no, he was like super, super cheesy. He was the most cheese host that the WWE has ever had. I don't give a shit.
I think he was trying to use Vince to get on MTV. Because he gave me that TRL vibe before TRL. You know
Hi, Todd Pettengill here.
Yeah, no,
that's all I remember. But I'm not even gonna bullshit, dude. I will mark the hell out to this. I did when he was on NXT in your house. I marked the fuck out, dude. Because
Todd, you can't not like Todd Pettengill.
Todd fucking Pettengill.
You can't not like Todd Pettengill. He's shit.
No, he's in the Radio Hall of Fame too. So you know what? He's okay in my book. He's okay. But we're gonna move on.
Over Michael Cole right now.
Mitchell, you leave Mitchell alone. Maggle. When I first saw, listen, before we get back into this, when I first saw that and heard that, I laughed harder than you did. I promise you. Because he's like, yeah, you know.
I love JBL, man.
And he wrote it down too. It's not like and then I was like reading the comment. I go Maggle, and I'm like, oh my god. So then I started doing the voice, and I'm like, that's right, Maggle. Maggle. So, Maggle, Maggle.
Ggle, yes. Maggle Cole.
Like Fraggle, except without the fra. It's a g. But anyways, getting away from Maggle. Like, share, and subscribe. Before we go, we start going JBL on you. We'll bully you into it, damn it. I'll bring Michael. So like, share, and subscribe. Tell them JBL sent you. All right, we're going back into wrestlers and wrestling movies. I wish the hell JBL was in a motion picture because then I could bag on him. But how about
The Marine?
how about this one? Are you ready?
Yeah.
I reached back for this one and I forgot I put him on my list and I almost crossed him
boy.
off. I almost crossed him off.
Every time you say you reach, my stomach drops just a little bit.
No, I promise you this won't. I promise you this. I promise you. I swear on my child that this is a good one. Captain Lou Albano.
Oh, a movie?
Oh, he's been in movies, man. He's been in a few movies, just little bit parts though. But obviously we know him on we know him like as Super Mario.
Yeah.
Outside of wrestling, and more famously, Cyndi Lauper videos. Is that what you were going to say?
No, I was going to say Body Slam. Wasn't he in Body Slam?
Yep, that's yep. He was exactly in Body Slam.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is also a movie that nobody talks about.
No, not at all.
He was in Wise Guys too with Joe Piscopo and Danny DeVito.
Okay, it sounds like something they cast him in.
It's
kind of typecasting with him on that one.
Yep, and he was also in a terrible movie in 1992 starring Pam Dauber and John Ritter called Stay Tuned.
Yeah, that is a reach, definitely.
That was a reach, but I remember.
Shoulder okay? Yeah, elbows and shoulder okay?
Yeah, but you still can't keep him
no, not at all.
Because he was one of the greatest managers of all time. But see, it wasn't too bad, was it?
No, that wasn't that bad.
I told you. I said
John Ritter movie though.
A John Ritter movie. That was. Yeah,
you had to click next like 16, 17 times for that one.
All right, I'm gonna give you a name right now. This isn't even a reach, but this is more of an oversight. The late great Tom Lister.
Oh yes.
Debo, Tiny Lister.
Yes. Zeus himself.
Our
current cover photo, and I did that because of today. Like if it wasn't for that role, Patrick would not have gotten the giggle that he got from me posting the picture that I posted. Yes. Debo himself.
I mean,
resume's pretty long movie wise.
Yeah, I mean he was long. I remember him in Jackie Brown, the Tarantino movie. He was the bondsman. He's Winston. What does he do? He finds people. How? That's what he does.
Yeah, Jackie Brown was a good one.
Jackie Brown, outside of Debo, my favorite role because he's not what you expect. He's not like the bully or like the big hardcore like let's go. No, he's like bail bonds. I find people, and that was it.
Definitely a different type of role.
Different, but effective.
Yes.
But he had that obviously both Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
I still like second Debo better.
Like
Friday number 2.
I like the first one better.
Nah.
Kind of reminds me of my uncle.
My bike, punk.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of my uncle. My uncle don't smile either.
It's so funny because I point this out every time they do like the dice scene. And it has nothing to do with Debo or Tiny Lister. But one of the dudes throwing dice is Michael Clark Duncan. Green Mile. Yes. I tell everybody that nobody believes me because he's not credited. I'm like,
that is absolutely Michael Clark Duncan.
I said that's him.
I'm pretty sure he made an appearance on Raw once or twice.
He did.
Once, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember one of them times was for Kung Fu Panda. They did a damn promotion with it somewhere. Mm-hmm. So he just, when they were doing the guest hosts and everything. Because remember, they had Cheech and Chong on there doing it.
True.
So the guest hosts were they were reaching back themselves after they did like Cheech and Chong and the Muppets like 4 times.
Yeah, no, that's a period I want to. I mean, I don't know. You kind of can't forget because it's kind of like the opposite of what we're talking about today. Just the actors in that role as opposed to the wrestlers being in the
Yeah.
screen role, on screen role somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, everything's up for grabs. But I got another one. Triple H, and I don't mean the chaperone. He was actually billed in a movie. He was in Blade.
He
One of the
was.
Blades.
Yes. Was
That's
it the
that's
first
where I'm
one?
going.
Was it
No,
the first one?
I think it was the third one.
Okay.
It's the third one. Yeah, I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking the fucking chaperone. I knew you were. That's. I felt that.
Yeah,
He was,
because everybody has their Mr. Nanny. So
no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, clearly, Mr. Nanny, or the pacifier, or whatever that was.
Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, Tooth Fairy, or
Was it
yeah,
Batista in the pacifier? Or who was the pacifier?
Vin Diesel.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking the chaperone. It definitely Blade Trinity. I had to look it up just so I could get the name right. It was Blade Trinity because I
okay.
remember he was one of the vampires. But yeah, we're not talking the chaperone. No, not to the $5 bargain basement, like the Marine 800, starring Tyler Breeze or something. I don't know.
Starring Drake Maverick.
I watch. I'm a Marine, but you can't be because you're British or Australian. You cannot be in the U.S. Army if you're Australian. This can't work.
Because you're a rock star spud.
Exactly. And you're too short, so they wouldn't take you. But all right, let's start getting into the meat of this. All right. So I know I'm gonna start talking about some of the bigger names. I mean, obviously we're gonna have Dave. We can throw him into the mix. Obviously he's with the Marvel now, but he's trying to get into a DC Comics role as like Mr. Freeze.
Dude, just okay.
I know. Just stay where you are. I get that. But we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's leading up right now. Because all right, so I'm going to give you my top 3. I just wanted to get Dave out of the way.
I know who's number 1, so just give me 2 and 3.
All right, 2 in my own personal, as I'm going to say, or 3 I'm going to say is the hometown boy John Cena.
Okay.
I'll give it to Cena because I didn't see the Fast and the Furious just yet. But, he's getting up there, plus his notoriety. Do we really have to talk about his career? No. Just like the next one that I'm going to say at number 2, I'm going to say Dwayne. And there's reasons why he's not number 1 yet, or probably couldn't be. I'll go the extra mile and say couldn't be. But we all know what Dwayne's doing and has done. Fast and the Furious, highest paid actor in Hollywood. The list goes on. And my personal favorite was the Scorpion King, because that was the real where it really began when he appeared in a movie was the Scorpion King. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. I'm just disturbed by the fact that you said that this man.
That he can't be number. No, I mean,
be number 1.
In my eyes,
he's made more money on the screen than anybody ever.
Okay, all right, and that's fine. I'm just saying, in my eyes, he can't be number 1. He can't. He's damn close, but he cannot be number 1. But
who?
Dwayne is number 2. No, I'll get to that. But Dwayne is definitely number 2, and this is out of pure favoritism. Pure favoritism. That's why. And Dwayne's done it all. You can't deny that. You can't overlook everything he's done. The Rock was it. In the Scorpion King, that's like I said, when I saw him on screen for those 5 minutes, it was worth the $7 damn that I paid just to go in the door and see it for myself. That was another mark out movie. Even though they showed it on TV, it's like I want to go see it in the theater. But the CGI one later on in the film, not so much. That was like, all right, cool. But then they went on. And yes, he's made millions. He's probably going to make billions. But he's only number 2 because he's not the first guy to really get the notoriety when he did it. And he's 2 to Piper. Yes, he is number 2 to Roddy Piper. Piper has done it all. In ring, well, I don't want to say all, but he was the first one to do it. Outside the ring, he was the first one to do it. Everybody wants to give the other guy credit. I'm giving it to Piper. Piper did it, and he did it well. They Live is iconic. It's like I said, this is pure favoritism on my part, and you know what? I don't care. Anybody can call me a hater or whatever. I am not discrediting anything anybody's done, but to me, it is Roddy Piper.
If you're saying that somebody can't be number 1, that is absolutely discrediting what somebody's done. How many movies has Roddy Piper been in?
It doesn't matter. He's done it.
It matters.
To me,
okay. So you're
gonna base it off.
Hold on.
No, I know what you're trying to say. All right,
so you're gonna base this off of one movie role and one iconic line in a movie role.
It was more than that. It was the whole. To me, it was more than that as a whole, only because I'm kind of a film student and I look at everything. He played that role the way that it needed to be played. They couldn't have casted anybody better. Why? Because most of his lines were off the cuff.
What year was that movie made?
87.
Okay, so he wasn't the first guy to do it. If Princess Bride was made in 85, and I'm pretty sure one of the Predators was made in 86.
I mean, like the real first one to go out there and just do it like in Hollywood. Because remember, he stayed away. And he just did the Hollywood thing.
Predator wasn't Hollywood.
All right.
Carl Weathers had just done Rocky. Terminator was like one of the biggest movies in like the history of movies. And Jesse Ventura is in a movie with 2 of the biggest stars of the 80s.
I understand that, but you know what?
Twice.
I'm sticking with Piper. That's see, this is why we do the show. I'm sticking with Piper. I'm sticking with Piper. Like
who was in that movie who other than Roddy Piper, who was in that movie?
That you would know? Oh, I know.
That anybody would know.
I know.
That anybody would know.
It was a John Carpenter movie, which was like big enough, you know. He's a director movie, and it was They Live. Obviously, we all know the title. But he was in a bunch of other shit too. I mean, even wasn't much.
No, I'm talking about movies that Jumanji. Pick a Fast and Furious.
Body Slam. You forgot about that one. You know Fairy. That is. He wasn't in the Tooth Fairy.
I'm talking about Dwayne. Who should be who I thought you were going to put in number 1, which is why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting. Because we should have mentioned Piper. We're 48 minutes and 2 seconds into the show. We should have mentioned Piper 47 minutes ago.
No, I don't think so. Nope. It's Piper.
Because, I mean, that resume is kind of short to be at the top. I'm just saying. I can't not.
It's like I said.
I wouldn't even put Cena in the top 3 right now because
you wouldn't put Cena. All right.
Not right now.
Then what would be your top 3?
Dwayne.
Obviously, he's number 1, right? Yes.
Dave. Jesse Ventura.
In that order?
In that order. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I got Rock Cena. I got Piper, Rock Cena. That's it. And then you know what? We forgot an honorable mention only because we have to talk about The Departed. Or not The Departed, but the fuck was that movie with Stone Cold? Stone Cold. Remember? No, he's not on the list.
I don't remember what on The Longest Yard. That's about
no. He had another
my filmography on Stone Cold goes. Was it? I don't remember the name of it, and I refuse. You remember
it? They were hyping this movie up. It was like Stone Cold Steve Austin was like running through the woods or some shit.
Every time I hear movie and Stone Cold, I think the movie Stone Cold with Brian Bosworth. I don't think about Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm sorry, but that wasn't my honorable mention. And it because we can't think of the name, I'm just going to go ahead and throw Kane out there. May 9th, since this is the month of May, May 19th, See No Evil. As much as they hyped that up, The Hook actually made a WrestleMania appearance. Like,
All right, I got a smart remark on this whole thing, and Shyla just texted me. How about you guys mention China? I'm like, come on. I just shook my head and I'm like, I'm out. No. She's being
Re-
smart. She's
really,
being smart. I
I
swear.
understand. We're not.
I'm like, stop
really,
that. I'm like, not China.
Because then we had to get into the whole page thing, and then it's just like,
That's a whole nother show for a whole nother time.
I don't think I even want to do that show.
Honestly, me either, because
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything that needs to be said.
It's really not. I need to read. Somebody need to take the hot tag on this one. Maybe we'll leave Arthur and Mark to do that on their own.
We'll take a vacation week. So
seriously, so they can do China and movies.
No, you know what they're gonna do? Because if we're gonna be talking about those two taking over a cast while we're on hiatus or something, it's gonna be like the Eva Marie hour.
Nah, I'm good. I think we'll stick around.
Who, thank God, isn't in any movies
right. That we know of. She might be, doing some China-like stuff herself. Who knows?
And then the obvious omission is omitted from this list. Me and you agreed to this at the front. As to any list that we have, the obvious omission is not to be mentioned on this show, but hashtag.
Oh yeah, that dude, Suburban Commando. Santa with muscles.
Okay, wait a minute. All right, I want to go back to Suburban Commando for a minute because you know what? We forgot about the acting debut of another wrestler on that movie. Not named Terry Jean.
Yes, he was in that movie. I completely forgot that The Undertaker was in Suburban Commando. Looking like
Mark was in Suburban Commando.
Yes, Mean Mark was in Suburban Commando. Texas Red.
Yes,
forgot all about that, man. Yeah.
I know. Now that you brought that up, I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Yes, Mean Mark Callis was definitely in Suburban Commando.
That was his acting
name. Like Thug number 2 or something like that. He didn't even have a name.
He wasn't even number 1, which is even sad. And then the other dude, we didn't even know who the other dude was.
Well, that wasn't the dude that had the dark match against Bret Hart.
Probably.
Exactly. You know who I'm talking about?
What's his name?
The guy that had like the greatest dark match ever, and then he just ended up.
They ended up doing Suburban Commando and get thrown under the bus.
I think his name was like Lex Luger or something like that.
I don't know.
Lance Von Erich, maybe.
I don't know. Probably like Gordon Guerrero or something. Who knows?
Ice
Dagger, but it wasn't the GOAT.
No, it was not.
It wasn't the GOAT who I am determined to get on this podcast. But I'm trying to get the GOAT on this podcast, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, we know. Go to Tim White's bar. He might know where to find him.
Hey, listen. When I can make it out, you know what? I'm actually doing my gigs out in Woonsocket, so I'm like, I might actually go check that out. Go check out the Friendly Tap. See what's up. I'm gonna be like, can we get you on our cast? I'll buy a beer.
Can we do the cast from the bar?
Right? Can we do it here? He'd probably just be like, come on.
Right, like we won't trash it like Farouk and Bradshaw used to get paid to trash your bar.
No, because it would be a piece of wrestling history.
Yes. That would be dope. Yo, we should really like look into that. I think that would be real dope if we could do the cast one night from Tim White's bar and have him on. That would be so dope. And tell some Andre stories.
You can tell us stories about everything, but mostly Andre.
Maybe see if all 3 of us can drink as many beers as Andre could by himself in a sitting.
Oh shit! We better make sure the ladies are on standby because I'm telling you right now, they ain't gonna put up with that.
I can recruit some help. Don't worry. I'm pretty sure.
I'm
pretty sure the birthday boy will be willing to shoot out to Rhode Island. I know Mike will be down for that.
That's right. Shout out to Mike, man. Happy birthday. Which brings us to the end, since we pretty much covered a fast wrestler in wrestling movies. It's shout out time. It's brought to you by the fine folks at The Infinite Banter. Your number one source for old school hip hop in Chicago. Where's that T-shirt? There's your promotion. There's your promotion, Mark. But all right, I'll go first, only because I'm gonna get this out of the way. I got it right here because I made a banner. So, happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there. Marky, Naya, who was also a belated birthday. Happy Mother's Day, and every other mother, including my mother and your mother and everybody's mother. A happy Mother's Day. Take them out to breakfast. Make sure they don't have to do much because they brought you into this world and they can take you out like that now. And that's really all I got for my shout out. You know, you got anything other than the usual?
I'm not even going with the usual this week. I had a very since we've been on last. I think I've had 3 birthdays. My baby boy turned 1 on the 21st of last month. My oldest son turned 17 on the 2nd of this month. He shares a birthday with The Rock. And my oldest daughter made 10 on the 3rd. So
2 whole hands, bro.
Yes, 2 whole hands. So I had a really busy birthday weekend. My twin brother's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Mike. I think he's 32 or something. No, but
they still ain't dropped yet. I'm just kidding.
Nah, but but again, check him out. He's on I think he's on Apple now, Spotify. Still waiting to get put on for the playoffs. Check out Tim on Twitch. So I guess I am gonna go with the usual this week. But I want to give everybody a quick look ahead for the next couple weeks and stuff that we may have for y'all. I want to do. We have been, me, Dan, and a couple of the other guys have been putting together our 50 greatest list. So we're gonna put not next week but the week after we're gonna do that show. So 2 weeks from now we'll be doing our.
This might be a 2-parter, man.
Yeah,
it might be. This might be multiple
2 parts.
Maybe 3. Yeah. I mean,
who knows?
We come up with this list, so you guys.
I'm done. Mine is finished. Mine is done. I am set. I'm good. I'm just waiting on y'all. On y'all. So
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this show.
I have my notebook right friggin' here, and it's all fucking bullshit writing because you can't even read it, barely. So it's like I'm not gonna send that over. I'm typing my shit out, and then we'll make it official and we will reveal, because I'm telling you right now, this is going to be hella fun because I'm waiting for the discussion. I am waiting for the arguments. I am waiting for the agreements, more or less, because I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be. I'm
super excited about this one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm super excited. I don't want to start, diving into it too much right now because I want to talk about the show that I want to do next week.
Go ahead.
Recently, I've been falling down this rabbit hole, and I'm really starting to just learn, And I want to share what I've been finding with y'all. I've had the last 4 days off from work the way my schedule fell, so I'm here with the kids, and I'm just on YouTube, just falling down all these different rabbit holes. But there are so many little smaller territories from back in the day that I want to get into. Some stuff that a lot of y'all might not know, some stuff that y'all might already know that you want to drop a comment and have us discuss. So next week we are going to talk about a couple of the lesser known NWA affiliates from between the 60s and the 80s, before everything pretty much became national with Crockett and Vince and whatever Vern Gagne had left and what was, left over from World Class and stuff like that. So next week is going to be a pretty educational show. I'm pretty excited to bring it to y'all, just to share with y'all some of the stuff that that I've been picking up, and hopefully I can I can teach y'all a couple of things next week. It should be fun. But I'm really looking forward to this top 50. This is gonna be It's gonna be crazy.
I
Top
think
50 is gonna be nuts.
it's gonna be unbelievable, and you know we're gonna have a hell of a lot of fun these next couple of weeks.
Super excited.
And guess what? Guess who's late to the party? Better late than never, Queen. Happy birthday. Happy 26th. I hope you enjoyed it. And happy Mother.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I mean,
I know she did. I know she did.
And one more time, since you're watching live, happy Mother's Day. Dark Side of the Ring is on tonight. I know you guys have been watching. Thanks for not spoiling it for us.
Isn't it Pillman tonight?
Part 1 of Pillman.
Pillman, part 1.
Part 1 of Pillman. It said that's what it said on my sling. So I have it DVR'd. That's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening. Doing that and finishing out my 50 list, and then we're just waiting on everything.
Mine is. Hold on a second. Mine is done.
Then we're waiting on everybody else.
So.
But with that being said, there is one more thing that I want to add to that. You guys can also be a part of this top 50 discussion at any point. We will let you know how as the time arrives. So he has his right there on his cell phone. Me, like I said, I write. Luther writes better than I do, and that's all I'm going to say.
I might have to make one more change. I don't know.
Yeah. So we'll finalize them, bring them together, and then we'll unveil the most shocking list you'll probably come across in any wrestling ranking system. So with that, guys, we will see you next week. That's Will. I'm Dan. Happy Mother's Day. Dig it. See ya.